Hao Medakiapi. Hao Medakiapi Namakorapi. Chante washte yo nape chiza pero. Mato Jojo Dakota Makia pero. Miniwakan oyate na sanish na ratsa na hung papa oyate ki amata. Friends and relatives, we shake all your hands in a good way this afternoon. We're honored that you're here. My name is Whistling Bear, AKA Russ McDonald. I'm an enrolled member of the Spirit Lake Dakota Nation and a proud descendant of the Sanish, Hidatsa, and Hukmapa peoples. We're pleased to see you here and to come and participate in this historical program and dedication ceremony this afternoon. With that, we are going to call on our singers, Slewfoot singers from the Turtle Mountain Band and Chippewa Indians, and also the United Tribes Technical College Color Guard to post our colors today. With that, Slewfoot. At this time, we're going back to Slewfoot for our flag song.
Color guard salute. Retreat. About face.
Hookah. Hookah. Hookah.
Do it, do it.
All right, let's give a round of applause to both our veterans and our singers this afternoon. With that, we're going to move to one of our relatives here, Hukshila White Mountain, who is our culture coordinator here on campus, and he's going to provide a blessing for us this evening, or this afternoon, sorry.
Hamatakiapi. Hokshila wambli chincha machapi. Na we chasha waka hamachishni na yoka waka hamachishni. Ikchewi wa chasha hamacha. Na mato akichata awati. Na wakpa washte amataha. Na my name is Hokshila White Mountain. I'm not no medicine man or powerful spiritual leader. I'm just a common man asked to help with the blessing of this. I'm from Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. I live right now in Standing Rock, and that's where I'm an enrolled member. And we'll start now with the blessings. Ha takanshila wankantanka, uchimaka, tate dopa, taku wankashkashka, ampokile, pila uyayampe, na iya wokiksuye, pila uyayampe, na takanshila wankantanka, iya wakuksile, loashtekte, na tua hecha uyota kapi, loashtekte, na takanshila, tue altib, ka papapi, na owayankate, na takanshila ushiulapialo omakiayo. I just said a simple prayer that we is thankful for today. We're telling the Creator we're thankful for this memorial. We asked Him to bless this memorial and all that are here right now to bless them too as well, and to look over everyone as they drive home from here today too as well. And we ask them to look over us and to take pity upon us today and help us.
With that, we're going to ask you to sit. And Hukshia's brought some sage with him today. And he's going to come around and he's going to smudge our memorial here today. And then while he does that, we're calling on our singers to render a prayer song while he does that. So we're letting him fire up here in the windy day. Otis Madakyapi. We do this to help us cleanse, to purify our space, to purify our minds, to help our spirits to be open and to prayer, to what we're doing today. We do this a lot of times when we're praying to help us to be rid of the daily life, to be rid of these things that block us off from that relationship with our Creator. We use these things this way as part of the medicines that have been provided to our people. And we share that with you to come to an understanding of a piece of what we do here and share with you today. All right, thank you. Thank you, Krila, for the blessing, and thank you to Slewfoot for bringing your songs with you. I believe they're going to transition over here. While they do that, I want to invite one of our relatives from here in town, our friend to United Tribes, Michael Schmitz. He was elected as mayor of Bismarck in 2022. He is a lifelong North Dakotan and resident of Bismarck. Mayor Schmitz has been associated with youth activities for years and understands the values and struggles of young families. He and his wife Janelle have raised 2 children to adulthood and are now enjoying their time as grandparents. Let's give Mayor Schmitz a round of applause and welcome him to the microphone.
Well, first off, it's an honor to be here, just to be part of this dedication. And welcome to United Tribes Technical College, which is a great partner for the city of Bismarck as an organization and frankly for the community. Because without this school, I think we would be a poorer person or poorer people. This is a wonderful opportunity to dedicate the Snow Country Prison Japanese American Internment Memorial. And as I said, an honor for me to be here today. During World War II, Fort Lincoln and Bismarck, and on this campus here, earned the name Snow Country Prison, as the U.S. Justice Department imprisoned several German nationals and Japanese Americans who are U.S. citizens, most likely. And it just helps us remember this. We tend to forget those things that happened and how we might have maybe not been as generous as we should have been. I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad to be invited. Thank you, Dr. McDonald, for the invitation, and to all of the individuals and the board of directors who I got to speak to and with at the summit on Wednesday. It was really my pleasure, and this memorial has been in the planning for 15 years, so what an accomplishment to get it off and celebrated and dedicated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, sir, for the good words. With that, we want to invite another one of our local relatives here from in the community, a good partner and friend to the United Tribes Technical College, Brenda Nagel, the president and CEO of the Bismarck-Mandan Chamber EDC. Let's give her a round of applause, please.
Greetings, everyone. As Dr. McDonald, or as I would say, my friend Russ, explained, I have the honor of being the president and CEO of the Bismarck-Mandan Chamber EDC, and that's a mouthful. And we are an organization who supports business in our community of Bismarck and Mandan, Burleigh, and Morton County. And it's an honor to be here. I appreciate when Dr. McDonald invites me to come to these events because it gives me just another reason to come out here. And as I drove onto campus today, I can't help but marvel at the beautiful new entrance. And that's been a long time in the making for someone who's lived in this community for my entire life. Seeing that transition to that more welcoming entrance really is a nice and beautiful sign for hospitality. My organization represents over 1,200 businesses and organizations in Bismarck and Mandan. And we are deeply grateful for the United Tribes Technical College and their impact on our community through their economic impact and through the students that they educate to fill all of our workforce gaps. They do a lot of amazing things. Most recognize UTTC as the location for the annual International Powwow, but I think there are still few people in our community who are actually aware that this was a military post, a place to incarcerate Japanese Americans during World War II. I actually first learned of this history a few years ago during a sit-down visit with my friend Russ here on campus. He said, "Brenda, did you know?" And I said, "I am embarrassed to say I had no idea." And so he took the time to tell me the story, and what a beautiful story it is. And to see this come to fruition, I know that it resonates deep in Dr. McDonald's heart. Today, as we take part in the dedication of this memorial, which, as Mayor Schmitz mentioned, has been 15 years in the making, we celebrate and show deep appreciation to our friends here at UTTC for all of their efforts. Thank you to everyone at UTTC and all of those who have worked so hard to bring this memorial to fruition. Thank you for all that you do for our community of Bismarck, Mandan, Burleigh, and Morton County.
Again, thank you for the kind words, Brenda. With that, we want to invite one of our relatives from the north, from the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians, who's with us here today. We're pleased to see her, and she was here when we first did the ribbon cutting and provided a poem for us. And we, our first Native American Poet Laureate of North Dakota, Dr. Denise Lashmadier.
Bonjour, Anin and Dinawe Maganaduk. I greet you all as my relative today. I was here in 2018 when, lower this just a little bit. Okay. When an elder walked us around campus and told us stories. I was here 2 years ago when this space was also dedicated and blessed. And those events are reflected in this poem that I wrote last year. I also had seen, I've been a poet since I was like 10 years old, and I had seen a newspaper, and in there was some haiku written by Itaro Ina. So his words are also in this poem. Snow Country Prison. The men arrived at Fort Lincoln. They called it Snow Country. Along with heart-aching loneliness, they suffered the bone-cracking North Dakota cold. A daughter said when her father arrived home from Fort Lincoln, he was not the same man. Something terrible happened to him in North Dakota. Autumn grief, unbearable, I look at the children's photo, Itaru Ina. An elder survivor of Fort Taunton took us on a tour that summer day. He stopped at a place in the middle of the road, surrounded by houses now occupied by Native students. This is where the guard tower stood. The guns were aimed inward at us. The station is hot. There's hatred in the eyes looking at me. Itaru Ina. He showed us the building he was housed in, a long, wide porch in front. Now the porch I sign up for my powwow contest, a number to pin to my shawl. Wild chrysanthemums bloom in the Dakota fields for prisoners. Itaru Ina. He showed us the names of fellow internees still carved into the walls and closets. Then a brick to where he had carved Japanese letters, the name of a club he had started to help with the interminable boredom. On a long day, internee, just keep on walking, Itaru Ina. He recalled the original arch over the entrance to this campus. Dave Gipp led us to a field out back to that very same wrought iron gate that proclaimed this as Fort Lincoln. In the snowy spring, a vagabond, devastated by the war, Itaru Ina. The war has ended, but I'm still in the Snow Country prison, Itaru Ina. Generations of Japanese American internment survivors seek to find what healing looks like from historic and generational trauma. September 9th, 2023, a sunny early fall day, a healing ceremony was held for Japanese internment survivors, a wiping away the tears ceremony, smudging, prayers, song. The drums sang out across the fields and buildings that once held prisoners surrounded by barbed wire. Now, survivors are surrounded by healing song as each is wrapped in a star blanket signifying safety, protection, warmth. Something healing is happening in North Dakota. Miigwech.
Very powerful. Thank you for being here and for being willing to share your poem with us once again. With that, I'm serving in a dual capacity today as the MC and also the president of United Tribes Technical College. And I just want to say a word of welcome to all of you and thank you for being here and honoring us with your presence at this time. There's been some similarities as we did the research for this memorial between what happened with the Japanese people and what happened with our own people here. And some of those similarities in regard to land loss or forced removal. There's been centuries of US policy that forcibly removed indigenous nations from their ancestral lands, following especially the Indian Removal Act of 1830. Many were confined to reservation and faced massive loss of territory and sovereignty. For the Japanese Americans in World War II, Executive Order 9066 led to the uprooting of over 128,000 Japanese American citizens and residents now within the book. They were forced to abandon their homes, businesses, and communities to live in internment camps. In both cases, US authorities exercised a paternalistic rationale, justifying forced relocation as protective or necessary, despite being rooted in racial and cultural prejudice. For Native Americans, reservations and boarding schools were deemed civilizing or protective, but actually reflected colonial control and assimilation. Boarding schools enforced English language and Christian practices, actively suppressing tribal languages and cultural traditions. This was a deliberate policy of cultural assimilation. For Japanese Americans, their removal was framed as a wartime necessity, despite no credible evidence of threat. A government commission later deemed the internment a grave injustice, driven by racial prejudice, wartime hysteria, and political failure. Both of these experiences were rooted in systemic racism. For Native Americans, generations continue to bear the psychological and cultural wounds of displacement, boarding schools, and loss of autonomy. For the Japanese American survivors and descendants experienced lasting trauma, higher rates of post-traumatic stress disorder, health issues, shortened lifespans, and emotional scars. One last thing in addition to that, in addition to the intergenerational trauma. But there's a striking, often overlooked connection. And for some internment camps were built on or near lands formerly belonging to Native Americans, and even used incarcerated Japanese American labor to develop infrastructure for post-war homesteading, effectively further dispossessing our indigenous people. So we see this parallelism in regard to what happened to our people and to the Japanese people in regard to the internment era. And we see what happened here in regard to development and those bringing that perspective into what was developed here for this memorial. We see the timeline of pre-contact to where we are at today as tribal peoples, and capturing that as best we could in kind of this winter count type of thinking. We can't put everything in there, but we put what we thought was the most important. And that work coming from primarily our archivist, Dennis Newman, and others here on campus, as well as those cultural experts for the area that helped us out, including our own Dakota Goodhouse, who's here with us today. And here on this other wall here, we see those that were interned here. and spent that time here and suffered that trauma here in this campus, in these buildings. So we remember that today in regard to this memorial. And in closing, I think, is that all of us have been resilient. All of us have had to address this within our own hearts individually, not only for our individual selves, but our families and our communities, and as well as our nations for the tribal people. So these things have been in our minds as in regard to this work over the past couple of years, not only in discussions, and we'd get on a Zoom that was supposed to last an hour, and we'd be on there a couple, 2-3 hours. And so, and I was like, some of these, we're on a different time zone, you guys. Hey, but the thing is that we grew close, and we got to know each other well, and we got to see that. So we got to hear the input from everyone to value the sharing and to try to incorporate it as best we could into what was happening. And I think we're able to do that well, and to share that with our relatives to. In regard to the design with our relatives from Mass. So with that, I want to share and just recognize a few of the folks that have contributed over the years. Some of them are still actively working here at United Tribes, and some have moved on but are here today. So to share in this celebration and in this dedication. So I have a piece that we have prepared for the powwow this evening when our Japanese relatives come into the grand entry with us that we've asked our announcer to read. So if you don't mind me reading, I'm going to read this to you today so you know what to expect tonight. Snow Country Prison Memorial, our special guests. For more than 20 years, our sisters and brothers from the Japanese American Oyate have been good friends to United Tribes Technical College. They've helped us learn what it means to join as nations of people in solidarity for justice. And for these past 6 years, they've helped guide development of the Snow Country Prison Memorial, dedicated today here on the UTTC campus. Please welcome these distinguished guests into the arena. Our Japanese American members of the Snow Country Prison Advisory Committee are our Satsuki Ina, San Francisco, California, internee survivor and descendant of a Fort Lincoln internee. And I just pointed out Dakota last night, that Ina, for us as a translation, translates to mother. David Koda, Gardena, California, descendant of a Fort Lincoln internee. Koda, for us, translates as friend. I think that's about it, though. I mean, for the rest of the names, not for David, but Brian Nia, Los Angeles, California, Content Director of Densho, the Digital Archive of the Japanese American Internment. Tamiko Namira, Sacramento, California, from the Tule Lake Committee. Barbara Take, Sacramento, California, from the Tule Lake Committee. Duncan Ryuken Williams, Los Angeles, California, compiler of the Reiko, the Sacred Japanese Book of Names. Members of the UTD staff are Melvin Miner, who is our campus planner, who is unable, he's in a different event today that he's helping out at. Also with us, our former college relations director, Brent Kleingen from the Ronald McDonald House here in Bismarck, one of our former members. Where you at, Brent? He's back over there in the corner. Also with us is Courtney Lawrence from the Spirit Lake Dakota Nation. She is now our new college relations director, and she's standing back over here. She's also one of our photographers for today. And then last and not least from the UTD staff is Dennis Newman, our United Tribes archivist, and Joni Ramey Newman from the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. Where's Joni at? From the Mass Design Group, designers of the memorial, Joseph Kunkel, Northern Cheyenne, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Give him a wave. Jeffrey Yasu, Mansfield, from Boston, Massachusetts. Mayra Udvardi, Santa Fe, New Mexico. From the Takahashi Family Foundation, Masako Takahashi, San Francisco, California. And then we had sent out some invitations to the National Park Service to attend, and then and also to our state government partners, but they were unavailable to attend the event today. So, but we still want to recognize them in regard to their contributions to this effort. With that, at this time, I'd like to invite Joseph Kunkel from the Northern Cheyenne, Principal and Director of the Sustainable Native Design Lab from Mass Design Group, to the podium to share a few words on the design. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Getting whipped over here.
and the wind starts. Joining with me, as President McDonald introduced, is my colleague and partner Mayra, and colleague and dear friend Jeffrey Mansfield. So I'm Joseph. My Indian name is Hatayano, which translates to spotted hawk. I'm honored, incredibly honored, to be here this afternoon with you all, to have participated and shared in this work. Jeff and I came across this project in 2019, 2020, when a request for proposal came out to select designers for this memorial. And we saw the RFP come out, and we thought, what an amazing opportunity for a tribal member, a Northern Cheyenne tribal member, and a descendant of a Japanese American come together to work on such a memorial. At the time, we just were, it was a way for us to really kind of think about how we could think about how our two histories could be ingrained in this work. So I want to also acknowledge and lift up the over 20 individuals from Mass that worked on this project. We had incredible support also from WSB engineers. Candace is here today, who helped work on the landscape and some of the kind of the civil work that was done on the site. At the heart of the design is the drum circle. This is where stories can be shared, learnings can be had, and where we can all kind of come together as the drummers shared this morning. If you look at this drum circle, it really is designed in a way that kind of speaks to the four directions. The four pieces kind of go out into infinity. As you kind of gather, the idea here is that we're lifting up the four directions: Mother Earth, the connection to Mother Earth, and Father Sky. There's some embodied, essential kind of thinking about how Native American culture and Japanese American culture come together. And that's kind of the essence of how we can be thinking about this space. It's really a space to talk about the history, to talk about the resilience, but also to be a place where we can reflect and think about the future. And that's really important for us as it was really important for us as we thought about this design. Surrounding these walls, you'll find native plantings. We work closely with Linda Blackout to carefully select these plantings and to reflect the region. Many of our communities also use many of these plants as medicines in our cultural practices. Again, trying to tie the connection to place, culture, and community together. So with that, I wanted to take a moment and also invite my colleagues to kind of give a couple thoughts as well. I'll introduce Jeff first.
Thank you so much, Joseph. So I am a fourth-generation Japanese American. This project has exceptional significance to me, in my heart. But also, as we started this work, we were very sensitive and paid attention to the fact of how internment of Japanese Americans during World War II caused a fracture. It shattered our communities and our families all across the country. we were interested in considering kunsagi as the artistic form for this project, and how we can piece together these broken, fractured components to create something that's beautiful, something that's strong, something that shows resilience, and that there's beauty in the suffering that we've endured. And with that idea, we wanted to think about this wall here, as you see around us, as an act of kintsugi, where we're bringing together different people who had lived here and putting their names on the wall in an act of remembrance, to remember a time where things were horrible. And we have lights that will glow at night to show these fractured elements coming together. So at night, you can see these fractured elements being brought together in unison. So all visitors that come here, friends and family, can also put the saku, the origami cranes, as offerings, act of remembrance for those who were here, and have a legacy of storytelling of both the suffering of Japanese Americans from our community, but also a remembrance of space of this campus. It's incredibly amazing to me to see this wall and the use of tiles that were of the original barracks and structures that once were on this site of the internment camp. These were found early on, and so we had piles of them, thousands of these tiles, and we wanted to repurpose them in a meaningful way to be able to show and reflect the equipment and the materials that were here and that have endured. We were also inspired by the Japanese pattern of replication, and we thought about that throughout the piece. So you can see a unity among the different components here in the site. You can see the kunsagi wall, but we also have the amphitheater as well. And you'll notice that there's a horizontal banding that's continuous throughout to make a circle throughout the space that shows a continuous uplifting. That's something that we're excited about, and we hopefully that you will recognize, and that this is a moment where, as Joseph mentioned, we have used native plants that were locally sourced, that had specific significance. And we learned that during the Japanese American internment camp, many communities here experienced parallels to the indigenous communities. They often exchanged stories. They were able to purchase seeds. They were able to plant native plants. So I believe that this is a powerful symbol of unity between those two communities, a symbol of understanding between these two communities. This has been an incredible work. I'm incredibly honored to be here and to be part of this with Joseph, to blend both my personal experience and the community here as well, to be able to tell both of our stories that create a larger narrative.
Thank you, Jeff and Joseph. My name's Meira Edvardi. I was the project architect, had the pleasure of working with this team and many others here over the last 4 years. And I'll just end by talking a little bit about the material considerations that played a big role in both the design, but also how this memorial was fabricated over the last year and a bit. When we heard the stories of what the experiences of internees were like here, these themes of rawness and harshness and bleakness came up frequently. And so every material decision that you see across this landscape is really intended to reflect that, as well as to reflect the place and the history of this particular courtyard. So Jeff mentioned the tiles that we were able to reclaim from the former roofs of all of these barracks buildings. We also leverage railroad ties and stone in order to kind of extend the history of both the military era and the internment camp era of this place before it was returned to the 5 tribes. The Gabion baskets that you see here are really intended to kind of communicate that starkness and rawness of the experience, as well as really integrate more into the landscape and kind of material cues of this place. We were told by one of the contractors that there are over 120,000 jawed rocks within these baskets, which coincidentally symbolizes the number of people interned across the Japanese American community during World War II. And so some of these decisions really play out across the spaces that we see here. I want to shout out and thank the incredible team of contractors and fabricators who helped bring this complex design to life. We had Vantage View last year working on this incredible amphitheater deck that you see here. We had Cowboys Outdoor Creations and Rocks and Blocks and Capital Trophy working tirelessly over the course of the summer. And many of our partners from the construction team are here today, so if anyone has more questions for them, we'd love to introduce you after the commemoration as well. So thank you very much.
So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the team, and thank you, President McDonald. This was an incredible honor to work on, and I'm just elated at where we got to. So thank you. Pass it back to you, President.
Let's give another round of applause to the Sustainable Native Design Lab from the Mass Design Group for the beautiful design of this, yes, complex design. I know some of the work, I don't believe there was anything built of this kind in North Dakota before. And we recognize that in regard to the RFPs and the contractors who responded, and that being said within those forums. So thank you for the design for us here at United Tribes, but also bringing maybe a new design concept to our state and to the tribes here in North Dakota. Thank you. With that, we're going to go ahead and turn the microphone over to our relative, one of our leaders for us and guiding us, Barbara. Thank you. I'll adjust this for you. I'll get this in. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. McDonald. It has been such a wonderful experience for Japanese Americans who have visited the site of a Department of Justice camp out here in Bismarck, North Dakota. It's, it's a very sad story here. It's a sadder that it is more relevant than ever. This is the site of a Department of Justice camp where Issei immigrants were picked up and interned, mainly for the fact that they were Japanese and they were active in their communities. They were leaders. They were spokespeople, and that was their crime. And under the Alien Enemies Act, they were picked up, separated from their families, and put in what we are now calling the Snow Country Prison, away from their families, their communities, indefinitely detained. This was also the site of where Tule Lakes dissidents were incarcerated. 750 people who were American citizens lost their birthright citizenship for the crime of protesting the injustice of their wartime incarceration. So they were sent to this camp and also one in Santa Fe. 750 people. Think of that. And the plan was to deport them because they dissented. So it's a story that very few people in our own community understood, knew very much about, and in the broader community, even fewer people know about it. So here we are at a ceremony organized by a Native American college with leadership who had the compassion and the understanding to recognize the importance of the story. I mean, the compassion, the generosity, the just what the tribal community here has shared with us has been such a healing process. So it's a really deeply moving moment for us in the Japanese American community, especially those of us from Tule Lake and people who are descendants. And people have come from all over the place. They've come from New York and Boston and Chicago and all over the West Coast. And also, yes, people came from Japan. We have the youngest, Una, who is, 1 year old? You've heard Una. And we also have a 95-year-old survivor with us. Chizu, where are you? And so these are, it's just wonderful, the people who have come here to recognize the significance of this story. And we're all here because of the passion and the vision of one person who led the effort, Satsuki Ina, who will be speaking after me. And, she persisted, and she worked to make sure that this story would not be forgotten. Dr. McDonald earlier said that Ina means mother in his native language. And although she's the mother of this project, it took a village. It took a lot of other people to make this happen. And it's created a beautiful space. So we really wanted to acknowledge, we're going to repeat some of what Dr. McDonald is going to be, what is going to happen at the grand entry, but we really wanted to acknowledge the people and thank them. So I'm going to bring Mike Ishii up here. Mike Ishii is the director of an organization called Suru for Solidarity. There are a lot of people here who are active in the organization. It's an organization that formed out of the Tule Lake pilgrimage, an activist Japanese-American organization that is really, I think, giving voice to the Japanese-American incarceration experience and making it meaningful today. So, did you want to say a few words, Mike? Or okay.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, President McDonald. Thank you, all of our relatives here and friends. Just wanted to share a couple words that Suru was born at the Tule Lake pilgrimage in 2018 during the first Trump administration when they enacted the zero tolerance policy. And that was when they were taking children away from their parents, deporting the parents, we still don't know where some of them are, and then putting the children in cages. Children are the sacred trust. Across all cultures, we know that. That was wrong then, and it's still wrong now, and it's still happening now in this country. And that's why our work is so important. What we know in our work increasingly is that our brothers and sisters who are Indigenous have been fighting this struggle since the beginning. And so we want to offer our gratitude to you for the battle, for the survival, and for inspiring and guiding us along this journey. When Sudo first came into existence, one of our first protests was at Fort Sill in Oklahoma. This is a former boarding school for Native children. It's where the Chiricahua Apaches were battled with the U.S. war. Geronimo died there. There are 6 chiefs buried in the cemetery there, and even in their death, their graves are surrounded by chains. This is where over 90 Buddhist priests were imprisoned by the U.S. government during World War II, and where they executed 2 of our Iseis, our immigrants who were brought there. And so our history is deeply entwined with yours around state violence. But today is so important because today we come together in celebration. We come together to join hands. And so in recognition of the similarities in our culture of acknowledging care and connectivity, we have brought some gifts today. And something that Mother Ina taught me a phrase in Japanese. It's okage-sama da. It's our phrase of gratitude. It means I exist, but for you. Because of your existence, I exist. So, okage-sama da.
Thank you, Mike. So we'd like to acknowledge this UTT staff, Russ, and Melvin is not here, right? Courtney? And
Jolene Dakota is our Vice President of Campus Services.
she's not here, huh?
She's right there.
Oh,
Jolene?
you want to? We'd like to acknowledge, well, shall we get everybody up here first, or do we want to do one? Okay. So also, can we have the mass team come up? Joseph and Mayra, and do you want to stand over here? And the Japanese-American team, where's Brian is here, I think, and Duncan, do you want to join us?
Dennis.
Oh, where's Dennis?
It's right there.
Yes, we need Dennis. Where's Dennis?
You, Dennis.
Yes. Okay. You want to do Brent? Yes, Brent. Where's Brent? And where is Masako? Masako? So this is the team of people who made this all possible. And want to please give them a big hand. And members of Sudo for Solidarity came bearing gifts, and they will present them. did we want to? Did you,
Read the names out loud.
okay. This is to Leander McDonald, Dr. McDonald, the president of UTTC. And Courtney, I think. Okay, the and to Joseph Kunkel, Mayra Uvardi, Jeffrey Mansfield, and let's see, we have for Duncan, Brian, Reverend Duncan Williams, who is responsible for correcting and making sure all of the names engraved here are correct and consistent. Brian Nia. Brent Kleinjean. And then we go this way. Do we have an extra?
Jolene.
Delane?
Jolene Dakota, Vice President of Campus Services.
Okay. Jolene Dakota, who's the Vice President of Campus Services. And then we go this way. We have something for Dennis. I think. Dennis is the institutional memory for this project. He's been with this project since before our first gathering, which was in 2003. And so, yeah, when we all first, you met and Satsky and I all met. So, been a long journey, wonderful journey.
Brothers and sisters.
Right.
We all used to have black and brown hair.
And let's see, I think we have some special for Masako. So this is for Masako Takahashi, who basically put us over the finish line, helped us raise the money so we could complete the project. So we are so grateful to Masako's Family Foundation, the Takahashi Family Foundation. So thank you so much. And of course, to our mother, Satsuki Ina. Oh, okay. Well, so, oh. And to me, it's been such a privilege to do this project. And we are so grateful. And so the thing I forgot to do is to ask descendants of people who were interned in the early 42. Are there any representatives, family representatives of internees who are who are there under the Alien Enemy Act, right? Please stand. And we're also, if you were interned here, people from Tule Lake, people whose families had their birthright citizenship taken and were brought here to deport. They were the protesters of World War II. These are the important stories for our community. They're the stories of social justice stories that all of us here are the story keepers. And it's really up to us to keep these stories alive, to cherish and honor the stories. So this is just the beginning. And we thank you all for being here and appreciate your interest and support. So thank you. And
We'd like you to stay up here, please. We're trying to take off to go to the food trucks and get an Indian taco. We have some gifts as well. And Courtney and give those to, where is everybody?
They're on your.
Everybody moved over here? You guys, you Japanese are just sneaky. Yeah. Start over here. Start on this side with her. We also, these are considered a blessing and from us. And so we want to, Courtney's going to wrap you in this to take a blessing with you, that everything will be good for you, that everything will prosper for you. Stay, you can stay there. Mayra. Mayra. We usually just drape these over for the men. Brent. He left us for Ronald McDonald House. He's the priest over there. Our relative right here. There's a 95-year-old survivor here. They'll- They will. Are you okay in coming down? They can bring it to you. To help her. Oh, she's getting around, they said. Who else? We have one left, and we appreciate the Tyco Midwest group being here with us, and we want to have you send a representative up to come and let us wrap you in this last one here. Thank you. I'm going to get a picture real quick of our relatives here. Marcus. All right, he's got it. Let's give him a round of applause, please. All of our relatives here. Thank you very much.
So Satsuki, you can come back up here, Mother. So next up is Satsuki Ina, who is the person who has done so much to ensure the story is remembered and honored. So she is going to do her talk. And here, it's a little falling down a little bit.
Thanks, Barb.
What a moment.
Just remember to do everything your mother tells you to do. Thank you all for being here. We're trying to recover from bringing paper and getting these satin blankets. We didn't know either group was going to do this, and it's just another living example of the ways in which we respect and admire and share traditions And it's the work we've been doing actually starting in the year 2000. I came here in 2000 by myself because I was working on a documentary film about my father's time here. And I flew on one of the small airplanes that landed at the Bismarck airport and saw the red brick buildings that I had been studying where my father was held. And I was too excited to go to the hotel and then come back the next day where I'd made an appointment to meet with the president of the college, Dr. Gipp, at that time. So I just took my rollie and I was going down the highway. And this big white pickup truck came rumbling down the road and pulled over beside me. And he was a little scary. I think he had a cowboy hat on. And he said, "Ma'am, this is really dangerous. Where are you headed?" And I said, "Oh, I have an appointment. I'm going to the college." And I was frightened because I was there by myself, and here's this strange man in a pickup truck. And he said, "Well, let me give you a ride there." And I said, "Oh, no, thanks. I'm fine." And then he rolled his window all the way down. He said, "I'm the dean of students." And that was the beginning, the moment at which our deep friendship and connection started. And his name was Russell Swagger, and he was the dean of students here, and eventually, I think even now, is now president of another Native American college. He came here as a young boy, in many ways lost and looking for sanctuary and protection, and benefited from the wonderful offerings of this college. So when I got here, President Gipp came down from his office and took me around, spent the whole day with me, showing me the markings and the buildings and the places that he knew of where the Japanese and Japanese American internees had been held. And then he said, "Please come for dinner." And so I went to dinner, and there were faculty, families, students, all along these long tables where people had brought food and brought their babies, and they were trading the babies all across the table. And it was this incredible community of people that really believed in the importance of education and particularly providing safe harbor for their people. And around 2003, I was talking with Barbara Takei, and she revealed to me that she knew of a group of Japanese American men who met regularly, almost secretly, who had been interned here in Bismarck. And she had befriended them, and I asked, could I meet them? I'd like to know more about the experience here. These men were reluctant to talk and tell their stories because they had been so stigmatized, not just by the US government and the American public, but by their own people. They were viewed as troublemakers. But thanks to Barbara's relationship with them, they agreed to come with us back to Bismarck. So we brought them here. And it was interesting because they said, "We're happy to participate and help you learn about what happened, but please don't use our names. There are people in our own families that don't know that we were incarcerated there." And they walked us around and they showed us where the swimming pool was, where the beer garden was, and shared in some ways, the brotherhood that occurred for these men who had been dissidents in the other camps and then brought here, but also the suffering of their loneliness, being separated from their families and not knowing what their future was going to be. the plan, the US government was going to take these men who were dissidents and deport them to Japan. And there were some who had never been to Japan. They'd been American citizens. In 2007, we continued to work. Dennis Newman was a connecting link to our contact with the United Tribes folks, and we decided that we would do an exhibit and work with the University of North Dakota and exhibited photos, and we made these silk banners of the faces of the internees that hung from the ceilings in an exhibit room, and family members were invited to come. So over the years, we've been slowly working towards this moment. And when Dr. McDonald came on board, we didn't know what his feelings would be about, because we didn't know Leander at that time. And he has since, with open arms and open heart, as you've seen today, welcomed us, supported us, urged us on. And you heard the remarkable story of the architects, because when Barbara and I were talking about, we want to memorialize the story, I was actually thinking of a little monument, like a plaque that would be laid in the grass somewhere. And that's when Dr. McDonald and others from United Tribes invited us to fill this space on land that they were going to memorialize our histories together. And I have to say, I actually cried when that invitation was made, thinking about the loss of land that the Native American people have suffered, and yet so generously offering us this moment, this place, and the heart of community. So we've worked long meetings, long time, and every minute was worth it. Our friendship has deepened. We love each other very much. And then I'm going to tell you one final story. So when I got here last night, it was raining and windstorms were blowing all the tsuru away that we were going to put on the memorial. And I was alarmed because it looked to me like this monument wasn't finished. And I think it's the psychology of trauma. To me, every inch of this monument was going to be, in my mind, smooth, finished, complete, and in some ways beautiful by this standard idea of closure. And I called Mayra and I said, Mayra, is this monument complete? She said, yes. And I realized today, as we're having this meeting, this gathering, that what they included in this representation, in this monument, is the incompletion, is the memory that this was a prison, that there were rocks, there were bars, there were spaces where people suffered. And as a trauma survivor myself, I feel like what I had hoped for was that it would be this complete, smooth, simple one message. But what you've created, and I'm sorry if I disturbed you when I said, I don't know if this is complete or not. I feel right in this moment that it is very complete, that it is perfect the way you have designed this, and the time and effort and the heart and the spirit that you've put into this, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
We have some other relatives here that we missed, and we want to
invite George and Judith
Murakami to come up. George and Judith Murakami. They provided sponsorship for our event today, so we're really thankful for them to be here and to help us in this celebration. Courtney. We didn't want to forget that.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for coming. The Murakamis visited Bismarck many years ago, and they've been very generous supporters to the tribal college. So thank you. Wow. So next up is Reverend Duncan Williams and also Reverend Ron Kubata, who will be doing a memorial blessing. And so all of you have the sheets of paper with the list of names. So Reverend Kubata and Reverend Williams, you'll give instructions on. Did you want to make also some remarks before, too? Yes.
Thank you, Barbara. ひまわりや我には遠く妻子あれ。Ah, sunflowers. I have far away a wife and children. This poem by Satsuki's father, Itaru Ina, written during his time in Bismarck, observed something he could see before him, the sunflowers, and that which he could only see in his mind, his wife and children from whom he was apart, family separation being one of the many cruel practices of the United States government during World War II. Today, just over 80 years after the end of World War II, we too need to see what is in front of us, as well as recall those who are absent. Especially with the kintsugi, these names, a memorial like the Snow Country Prison Japanese American Internment Memorial helps us to feel the presence of people like Itaru Ina and all those who experienced the wartime incarceration here. One of the names on the memorial, Toyojiro Suzuki, who volunteered as a barber for the internees, kept a diary during his time at Fort Lincoln. His February 19, 1942 entry reads, "Interrogations commence again. The questions are routine and include names of family members, occupation, more names and addresses, and lastly, person to contact in case of death. Late evening, Mr. Hamaguchi informs me of the death of Joe Shintani." Joe Shintani, whose name is also on this memorial, was the first internee who died here in Bismarck, February 1942. Another internee died of a heart attack on March 12th, 1942, in that barbershop where Mr. Suzuki worked, the internment camp barbershop. And several other names, people also succumbed to the taxing conditions of the camp during the course of this war. And today we gather at this memorial to console the spirits of all those whose lives ended here in North Dakota. But we also gather at this memorial to acknowledge a history of persistence, of resistance. Indeed, most of the 1,921 names on the memorial are names of those who survived this camp and the war. And while they're no longer present, we also honor their spirits and the resilience that their names represent. And we do so together through the reading of all of the names on the memorial wall. It's a lot of names, but we're going to ask all of you to inaugurate this memorial through the reading of these names. These names were extracted or assembled by extracting from the Irecho, the book of names on the altar there, just those who are here in North Dakota. And on 97 sheets, I think they've been pre-distributed, with roughly 20 names per page. When it comes the moment, Reverend Kobata and I are going to start chanting and doing some things, but there's going to be a moment when Reverend Kobata will start reading names. And that's when we ask you together, simultaneously, also to recite the names that are on your sheet. Nobody else will do those names. So please try to do this. It's not mandatory. There's no pressure. If you feel like you really don't want to do it, hand the sheet to somebody else. But by joining our voices together, we can honor each and every person on the memorial. So, and this doesn't, Satsuki just talked about the perfection of imperfection. It doesn't matter if you pronounce, it's difficult to pronounce one of the Japanese, if you mangle it, it's okay. It's okay. It's the spirit, your spirit in participation today that is going to make this memorial become activated, alive. And so we will start this memorial ceremony by offering incense and chanting a brief Buddhist text. And when Reverend Kobata starts reading the names on this his sheet of paper, he's going to do a little bell after each name to kind of set the pace and the rhythm for all of you while I continue to do chanting. And so let us start this ceremony. It should not take too long because all of us are joining together. And I ask you to keep that sheet available when the recitation of names begins.
I take refuge in the eternally timeless life of wisdom and compassion that is the source of awakening. Namu Kie Ho. I take refuge in the universal truth of impermanence and interdependence, the illuminating light that is the Buddha's wisdom. Namu Kie So. I take refuge in the Dharma, the Sangha, the community of people dedicated to living harmoniously in the universal truth, a life manifesting Buddha's compassion.
しぐせがん主情無変性願の煩悩無変性願断訪問無料性願学仏道無常性願上死後世願を不従する功徳は第四本師釈迦牟尼仏高祖上陽大師大祖上斎大師このノースダコタビズマーク市フォートリンカンインターメント収容所の奨励で肉よしたて祭り
吉川安倍正見安倍吉尾安倍徳陽安倍吉尾病安倍武志圭司安倍高志 Sam 安倍伊三郎足立実足立明 Ralph 足立照弘相葉広志相沢鹿之助あじゃり達夫あじ坂ジョージ広志赤堀八郎フレッド赤星ヘンリー広志赤尾俊吉赤坂信夫秋葉小吉祥だらにお不従する功徳は大師奨励に供養したて祭り無常仏家菩提を将軍すそして願わくは子音すべて法事さんの一つ助け北海の上等戦地のまどかをせんこと自法三子四不子孫部さもこさもこじゃほろみ
Thank you for all participating and reading all of these names, which have not been uttered altogether, probably ever, but certainly since 80 years ago. Thank you for your heart today to honor and console the spirits of all those who have gone before us.
And thank you, Reverend Williams and Reverend Kobata, for the beautiful remembrance. Reverend Williams, if you look over here, this is the Book of Names, the Ire Cho, the Sacred Book of Names, which his brilliant creativity led to the development of this book, listing the names of everyone who was incarcerated. And it has become a ritual in our community for people to make appointments to stamp the book, to acknowledge the names of all of those incarcerated. So we have the good fortune of the book being here this weekend, and people will be offered the opportunity to stamp it and to remember the ancestors. So it's really a beautiful, unusual memorial, and we thank you for your love and creativity. So next on the program is a dance performance from Janet Aisawa and Osama Uehara from the I Dance Theater in New York. They've traveled far to perform the dance.
Say something.
No.
Speak.
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 I want to forget.
Don't forget. Tell me.
They told us not to.
They don't remember.
They will find out.
They are gone.
I want to forget.
Remember. Please try.
Don't
Speak. Speak. Tell us.
tell us. Tell everyone.
Order 9066, April 1, 1942. Instructions to all persons of Japanese ancestry.
All Japanese persons, both alien and non-alien, will be evacuated from the designated area by 12 noon, April 7, 1942.
Evacuees must carry with them on departure for the reception center the following property.
A. Bedding and linens for each member of the family.
B. Toilet article.
C. Extra clothing.
D. Knives, forks, spoons, plates, bowls, and cups for each member of the family.
E. Essential porcelain utensils.
The size of each member of the family. That which can be carried by
The cloth.
They are itching to shoot us.
Japan.
Yes, it is.
Will we kill eventually anyway?
No.
had no conflict. He passed away.
Forswear allegiance? What allegiance? What allegiance? To the emperor? I never knew this emperor.
I left before December.
I have never been to Japan. I don't speak Japanese. Forswear?
Where can I go?
Forswear?
Where can I live?
Forswear allegiance?
I will be stateless.
No, it's a trick.
It's two questions.
It's two questions in one. I protest. No, protest. Protest. Say yes. You serve. Yes, serve to protect. Protect what? Rights. What rights?
Say no. Be left not to fight.
Say yes, and you will fight. Yes.
Say no.
It will separate us.
Family is the only thing I have.
Yes, if they free my family. If they free my family. Family? Say no. They are trying to deport us. Say yes. No.
Say yes.
Say no. Say no. Say yes. Say no. Yes. Yes. No. Yes.
No.
No. No. Say yes. No. Say yes. No. Say yes.
Say yes.
Say yes. They are trying to keep us here. Say yes. I say no. And yes.
Say no.
I say no. Yes. Say yes. I say yes. And yes. I say no. Yes. 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 Say yes. Say no. Say no.
I say no, no,
No. No. No.
no, no.
No. No.
Protest.
抗議します。I protest. Yes.
抗議します。
Protest. Protest. 我慢できない。It's Hoshida. I hear them. March at dawn.
I
March.
hear them.
うるさい。Shade. Always march. めんどくさい。
Always march.
If they are old.
If they are old, push down.
They want to be Japanese.
If they are young,
If they are young. 北段。
they are gangs.
Wearing white headbands. They want to be Japanese. They are gangs. It's dangerous. Disloyal. Subversive. Yes. It's dangerous. I can't bear it. They will say things. I can't bear it. I can't bear
We
it.
shave our heads and act as if we belong.
It's dangerous. They will find out. Find out. They'll beat you.
It's dangerous.
I can't bear it.
Congressional Record, Senate, July 23rd, 1944. Renunciation of American citizenship by certain citizens of Japanese ancestry. There being no objection, the bill, H.R. 4103, to provide for loss of United States nationality under certain circumstances, was considered and passed.
If you renounce, they will deport you.
No, if you renounce, you stay. If you don't renounce, we
I can't become American.
If I renounce, I will be stateless. American. If we renounce, they will.
If you renounce, we go back
I
to
don't
Japan.
want to be Japanese. I don't want to be Japanese. Right. I want to be Japanese. If you renounce, you stay in the camp. Don't renounce, you go back. If you renounce, you go to Japan. Don't renounce. If you renounce, well, we
We
don't.
will never see each other again.
Family is the only thing I have left. Renounce together. If you go back, they won't believe we renounce. They will say that I'll be killed at the hands of my fellow. Don't renounce, you stay.
We will fight.
I want to serve.
I say yes. My children know.
I want to stay with my family. I want to be left to be free. My brothers are fighting. Say no. I say yes to stay with my parents.
Say yes.
They can't. They moved me. No. Because I said yes. Renounce. No.
No. I say no for my
My
children.
soul says yes.
Say
My family says say yes. My daughter say no.
My
My father says to say no.
My son says yes.
Say yes. Took him because he said yes. Renounce. No.
No.
Say my children. Yes. Yes. My father. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Daughter says no.
I say no.
Yes.
No. I say no. No.
Yes.
I say yes. I say yes.
No.
I say
no.
yes. Yes.
Listen to this letter that I read that a lawyer wrote in 1952. Enclosed, find a copy of the conclusive order, judgment, and decree which forever cancels your renunciation and declares you to be a native-born citizen of the United States. You need not be ashamed of the fact that you once renounced citizenship. You did so because the government took advantage of you while you were held in duress by the government and were deprived of all the rights of citizenship and had no free choice in the matter. I am delighted that this litigation has terminated successfully for you. Very truly yours, Wayne Collins, Attorney at Law.
It's happening again.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it can't.
Not again.
The same thing, discrimination. It's happening now.
Discrimination. Discrimination is happening now against minorities.
This problem never improves.
They are building camps.
No.
Yes, they open camps.
No. Yes, they are putting people in camps. We have to talk about
You
it.
have to say something.
Speak while we still can.
We have to say something. No, I want to forget. No.
When we are gone, who will speak? Who will remember? Don't stay silent.
Don't stay silent.
I want to forget. No.
No,
We can't.
We must not.
We must speak.
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 Yes, speak.
Yes, speak. Say no.
Thank you. Give a big hand to Janet Onosamu. Thank you. And also to Tyco Arts Midwest that accompanied them. So that was a surprise. So next up, we've got Tyco Arts Midwest. Jennifer Weir leads the company. They're based in Milwaukee. Or Minneapolis. Sorry, wrong city. Megan Chow Smith. Craig Johnson. Kimi Aisawa Ramportal, who is the sister of Janet. Emily Harada. Charissa Uemura, and you're setting up. We just really wanted to have Tyco after we were here in 2023, and we participated in the powwow and heard the drumming. It's the sound of thunder and the heartbeat. So thank you.
okay if I use it? Okay, great. Hello, everybody. Oh, this works. Hi, once again, we are Tycho Arts Midwest. We're based out in Minnesota, Minneapolis, yeah, St. Paul. Thank you. And the piece that you just saw is called Big Big Drum, which is written by Mayumi Hashimoto in Japan. And the second piece that you're going to see that we're setting up for now is called 11, which is written by Kaolia Sano of Japan, and actually in Tokyo. As we're setting up here, we actually made a last-minute change to our set yesterday because we have a very special opportunity to do a collaboration with some of the drummers that you saw earlier today. Yeah. And so, yes, please. And so as they set up, I'm going to explain this piece and why we made this shift. So Kaolia Sano had this very special friendship and relationship to the late Dennis Banks. And so he actually brought them here on an unofficial reservation tour because he said to her that he felt that what they were doing could help enliven and enrich, increase the energy and awaken the energy of the young Native folks on these reservations. And so there's a portion in this piece that's inspired by the Rainbow Warriors. So I'm going to take a couple of steps back about why there's that inspiration. This piece was written in 2011 after the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, where there was a lot of loss. There were a lot of people who passed, a lot of homes that were destroyed, and just the entire country was just so shocked by this massive, traumatic natural disaster that happened. And so this piece represents not just grief, not just mourning, but also hope and coming together. And so in this portion, when the Rainbow Warriors come, it's because we're calling out across the horizons for all of our communities to come together, unite, and move forward to this new hope. So that will be happening during a chanting portion. Let's see, I think we're about set up. So this piece, again, is called 11. We thank you so much for having us here today. It feels very special. I myself, I'm Yonsei, so I have the family history as well of the incarceration, not specifically to Fort Lincoln, but with that connection to the Midwest, it permeates in all of us, and this is really important. So thank you. This is 11.
let's give them a big hand. That was great. Fantastic. That was really terrific. We sort of dreamed that this sort of thing might happen, so thank you so much. Really great. We can hope we can do more of this. Yeah. Yeah. So, fantastic. So, Duncan is Reverend Williams. Is going to be doing our spiritual closing, and so here.
Okay, as we come to a close here, we've offered greetings and gifts to each other, remarks about the design and significance of the memorial, a native blessing and drumming, and the reading of the names to recall the ancestors, a dance and the two groups, the drum performances to inaugurate this memorial to honor those who are interned here. And as we come to this close, all of you, we will we'll take one more step to enliven this memorial wall with the placement of prayer ties from the native tradition and folded paper cranes, or tsuru, from the Japanese tradition. Both types of offerings contain our prayers and serve as spiritual vessels to convey our hearts, our intentions for healing, and our gratitude to the world of the ancestral spirits. For we are interlinked with those who have come before us, for we are interlinked with each other. We're not alone, and our freedoms are intertwined and folded into each other. And with that, Barbara, I think you're going to conclude our program. Oh, no, President, you'll be.
You know, when we hang around other people, we trying to make relatives. So I seen this, and folks did that to me, so I wanted to do that back. And I appreciate Dakota sharing, you know, our hand ways of our Great Plains Sign Language of respect for others. So respect to all of you for being here today. We want to call on our veterans at this time to make their way over here. While they do that, I hit up Courtney, and she had 2 more blankets, and I like the dance that we seen brought emotion to me, and I don't know why. Except I could see maybe the displacement of our own people and what happened to them with what happened to your people in that dance. So we wanted to give something to our relatives who shared that dance with us, and so we have that here. then I'm going to use these drumsticks and go sit at the drum over here. With that, we're going to go back to Slewfoot to help us take our colors out this afternoon. And after that, we have a couple of flute players here that are going to share some of their music. And during the last piece of our program here, before you guys move inside, and that's the origami and turu. When you place those, or prioritize if that's what you brought today. Slewfoot, 1 and out, please. That you see on the end here. When we gathered to do different things, we would bring our staffs and we would put them in the ground to show that that particular nation, that particular family, that particular camp was represented within those gatherings. And that staff would stay up until we were done with that gathering. And then we would take them down. And then we would go home and go our separate ways. The significance of the staff is that we are represented there, and we know who's there with us. So thank you. Let's give him a round of applause. Coming and helping us out this afternoon. With that, we're going to turn the microphone over to our flute players to render a few songs while we visit the walls here. Thank you for coming. Have safe travels if you're leaving, or behave if you're going to stick around. Give yourself a round of applause, please.
Also, let me add that there is going to be a film. We're running a little late. There's going to be a film showing in room 207 of this building that will help explain where many of the men who were interned here, how they got here, what was it that caused them to be interned. And a book talk by Dr. Satsuki Ina about her father's experience at Bismarck, and a panel discussion. So join us. We're going to have some refreshments afterward, and then the film showing will be 2:07. So please join us. Thank you. Yes, and hang your suru on the walls.